for the split.
All right, ready? Gas drip, take one.
What's good, my people? It's your boy 1 million on the beat. Your boy BLANCX, man, and we here live. The gas drip, man. What's good?
Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy RICO. We live from the gas strip, yo. Check us out, yo.
It's your boy OJEZ, baby.
Yeah, what up? It's DJ OC.
And we got some special guests with us today, man. And I'm excited for this one, yo. Yo, intro them, man.
Yes, sir. This is your boy DT, the artist from Toronto, Canada. Mr. International himself. And I've got a special guest with me as well.
What's up, everybody? It's A.W.O.L from A.W.O.L Productions, BTP, ENT, you know what it is. Shout out to the gas strip.
Yeah.
It's about to be a good one, man. I'm excited for this one because, yo, honestly, like, there's a few people I look up to in the city, and, like, DT's one of them. And, like, so today we got a bunch of questions, and, like, yo, man, let's first off, you know what? Let's bring in the New Year's.
Let's bring in the New Year's, man.
Well,
This is the first episode of 2020, man. So we're, like, super excited, man. Holler at everybody for, like, you know, reaching out to us, man, and like commenting, liking, subscribing, all that, man. And you know, all the people that stayed tuned with us in 2019, man, we're still here, man. We're doing it big, man. And we got special guests, man. So yo, we're gonna tell you guys a crazy ass story, man. Tell you guys what the deal is, man, from the beginning till now. Alright,
2020, baby.
Facts.
2020, baby. 2020, baby.
DT's a crazy artist, man. I actually seen him live, you know what I'm saying? He's doing stuff with OJEZ, you know what I'm saying? Seen a couple of his videos, man, on the grind, straight up, man. And I just wanted to ask a bunch of questions, man. Like, where'd you grow up, man? Where'd you grow up?
So I was born and raised in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, dope.
People that see me traveling all the time, so like, yo, where you from? Like, no, I'm from Toronto.
Dope.
You ever get it from the States before?
Wow.
You ever get it like from the States before?
Well, I used to stay in New York for a little while, so every now and then you might hear like a little New York accent.
You do, I was just gonna hit that.
Yeah, like it's not conscious. Like I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I'm American. I'm not American.
We're from New York.
I'm Canadian. I used to stay in Crown Heights in Brooklyn, and I stayed over in the Bronx.
That's what's up, Bronx.
White Plains Road and 221st Street.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my childhood summers in New York too.
Yeah,
Queens,
okay.
shout out College Point.
That's sounding good, man. But yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, so it's interesting because so I was born in Toronto. My mom is Nova Scotian, black and native.
Wow,
So I'm mixed with they call it Eastern Woodland Métis, Arawak and Ojibwe.
Oh,
And then so I'm like full native. I remember when I was younger, like raised to be like, yo, go back to where you came from. I'm like, bro, you on my land.
back all of y'all.
And they always look at me like, what? You're not. You're black. I'm like, that's what you see. Right? But my dad is Jamaican and Irish.
Okay.
So my government name, I usually don't put it out, but just for the sake of the story, is Keith Sweeney. Which in Irish, Keith means wood dweller. And then Sweeney is of the McSweeney clan. So, you know, I'm related to a lot of Irish people and stuff.
But
yeah, it was interesting because when I was like starting in, you know, primary school and stuff, they were like, Keith Sweeney, they were like, here, and they were like, you're not. Like,
When you said primary school, sorry for calling you up yet again, but when you said primary school, that means you didn't grow up here.
No, I grew up here.
Because primary school is something we said back home. Like, I noticed they don't say it here.
Yeah,
Just cause, remember, so I grew up in a household where, you know, very Jamaican heavy influence.
Yeah.
So, you know, for us it's elementary school.
Yeah.
But Jamaican people, primary school.
That's what
So
I
it's just the same thing. People always think I'm American because they were like, so it's Z-E-B. And they're like, you mean Z? I'm like, no, I said Z. I don't know about this Z business. There's no D in the letter.
That's real.
That's because of Dragon Ball Z though.
That's real.
Yeah, you don't want to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you don't. You know.
So how did music get in the picture? Because at some point music got into the picture, right?
So you know what? To go with what Blanco was saying, it's a crazy story. So I used to be a basketball player. You know, I was 6'5". I was like 150 pounds. I was a high flyer. Like I was notorious for dunking on people. I mean, like Statue of Liberty. Like I would sit on people's shoulders, so I got shot at a lot. No, being dead serious. Like people would be like, "Yo, bro, you can disrespect me like that? Stay here." And then they go to their trunk and then they come try and shoot you.
That's a fact.
So when I was 17, I had a bunch of different scholarships to different schools, and I was playing a game with all these scouts watching, and like a dummy, I decided to show off. So this man's going for a 3-point shot. He goes up, I go up, whoa, boom! I'm like, yo, no one's going for this. So I go all the way down by myself, get the rebound, and I go up and do a nice windmill dunk. And when I land, I hear a snap. And my lower leg came forward, and I basically destroyed my knee. So when they picked me up, like my leg was just dangling like this. So I went to the hospital. They gave me 16 needles in my knee to put it back in place, and then I had to relearn how to walk.
Wow. So
through that time, I went through like one of the worst depressions of my life, and then that's where I started writing and doing poetry and all these things. And I was like, yo, okay. And then the doctor calls me in one day, and they're like, okay, you're doing good in your physio. Normally it takes people 6 months to be able to start walking. You've done it in 6 weeks. But if you want to play basketball again, you're gonna have to get surgery. Now me, I don't even like needles to begin with. The lady's like, in order to suck the liquid out, we gotta use this needle. And when she showed it to me, she showed me a Harvey's metal straw, bro. And I was like, you wanna put that where? Nah, I'm good. I was like, I don't need to play ball no more. And that was it. I stopped playing ball. So like, I'll fool around now with like my nephew and different kids and stuff, but I don't play ball seriously at all anymore. I don't dunk because my leg is, it's not fragile, but it don't take that much to say, you know, that's it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Man. That's crazy.
So you turned a negative into a positive.
Exactly.
For sure, because when you think about depression and anxiety and those kind of things, usually it's your body saying, I can't handle what's going on. I need to retreat so I can regroup and get myself back together so when I go out, I'm ready for it. So for me, it was like, yo, I can't do the things that my whole life hinged on. I'm a baller. I used to sleep with my shoes in basketball. During summer, you ball from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. You go to McDonald's around 1 p.m. and you get your dollar drink, and then you keep going back and get your free refills. That was my life. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yo, you can't do that anymore.
So you took that dedication and flipped it into music.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So now people are like, yo, DT is such a hardworking guy. And it's like, well, I use that basketball mentality. I'm the first guy in the gym. I'm the last one out the gym. If I'm not in the gym, I'm telling everybody, yo, you work on layups, you work on shooting, you work on this. I'm a leader.
Team player.
From the age of 16, I remember I was in leadership camp, and I got chosen by a group in Toronto, the Bank of Montreal. They had a leadership camp, and they invited me to come out and do leadership training. So I have all these certificates and stuff, and they're like, yo, you know, you're a natural leader. So every time we go somewhere, like I walk in the room and I'd be quiet, and I'd sit down and I'd survey everybody. And everyone's giving all these ideas, and I'm like, yo, that's a waste of time. Let's do this, this, and this. Like, all right, let's do that. And then all of a sudden, the team that I'm on, like we're winning. And like, yo, what are they doing? Damn. So I got used to that, and that translated into music where I'm that guy I walk into the room and say, okay, yo, OJEZ has this strength, RICO has this strength, BLANCO has this strength. Yo, let's do this, 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 and this. Right. And then usually everyone's like, yo, that makes sense. For sure. Instead of, oh yeah, let's all sell cotton candy with our albums. And you're like, what is cotton candy? You
highlight people's strengths, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. But not only do I highlight people's strengths, I find out their weaknesses and how each of you guys can cover each other's weaknesses. So that way, as a unit, you know, other people like to make fun of people's weaknesses. Me, it's like, yo, let's make sure we always look strong. So if this isn't your strength, then you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this, right?
So when did you start your first like track? When did you start writing? Like, how old were you and where were you, man?
I was 17. I was in the hospital. I had a leg brace from my thighs all the way down to my ankles. So I couldn't walk, and I just started writing, and I was like, man, this is crazy. But even before that, when I was in middle school, for our music class, we did a project, and I had my first ghostwriter. Shout out to Steve Roy Daly. So, Steve. You know, I was like, I'm not doing this. So he wrote a verse for me, and it was, I'ma say it once and I'ma say it spontaneous. I know I'm tall, but I'm still outrageous. You can't handle it cause I'm contagious. Something like that. Alright, so shout out to Steve Roy. That was my ghostwriter. You know, I was like 11 years old at the time, whatever. And I never took it serious until the accident. And then I was like, yo, okay, I can do this. And I started just doing it. And I was working by myself a lot. And I was like, yo, if I'm going to do this, it's just like basketball. I need a team. Sure. Right? You can't be the point guard, the shooting guard, the center, and everything. You got to pass the ball to somebody.
Listen to LeBron James.
He still needs 4 other people.
Shout out LeBron.
Right? You can't go on the court by yourself.
When did you get in the recording studio for the first time?
Jeez. The first time I went into a recording studio, I worked with a guy named DJ Spinister. and they had a thing. What was it called? I think it was the Just Us League or something like that.
Yeah.
So I went in the studio with him, and you know, I'm trying to find my sound or whatever. I sucked, you know. People are like, yo, bro, you know, I do this and this and that, and I'm like, yo, I'll jump on your track. Nobody wanted a feature from me.
Yeah.
And then one day, this guy Wonders from Soul Controllers, he's like, yo, we should come by the studio, let's do something. So I go in, and me, if I'm going into something, I want to over prepare. So I got like pages of notes. And I'm there, and every time he's working with an artist, I'm writing to whatever they're doing. Yeah. I know I'm not on the song, but I'm just writing.
Yeah.
So one day, this artist is on, and he's like, yo, I got these 8 bars, but I don't got nothing for it. And Wonders is like, yo, DT got something back here. And the guy's like, what? He's like, yeah, yo, come spit that. Yo, the man, please. Yo, and I wait, they're like, yo, you got, all right, go in. And that's how I got my first feature.
That's crazy.
I don't remember the name of the artist, but I'll always remember Wonders from Soul Controller.
That's crazy.
That's big, man.
And like, and so at what moment did it click? Cause like we all had this moment where we did it and it was like a hobby and it got us through what we needed to get through. But it's like, what moment, what happened in that moment did you realize that y'all was meant to do this? Like you, not anybody, like you.
Around the age of 17, so after I graduated high school at 17, full OACs, all of that. And like my teachers would always say, you're the smartest one in the class, you should act like it.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to skip 2 grades.
Yeah.
I would have graduated at 15, but my mom was like, oh, let him stay with his friends. Yeah. I don't talk to none of those people, you know. I could have skipped. But so after I graduated, I was like, okay, before I go to college, you know, let me do something. And then an incident happened. I won't give all the details, but an incident happened. So that's when I had to go stay down in New York for a little bit. Yeah. So I stayed in New York, and one of my cousins was bragging about me, like, yo, my cousin from Canada's here and he's a rapper. So 2 days after I arrived, I get a visit from these 3 dudes, like, yo, you DT from Canada? And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, come with us. I'm like, yep, I'm about to die now. Bro, they bring me to this building in the Bronx. Now remember, the Bronx, they got the bars on the windows, all this stuff, like, there's dogs and things. I'm like, yeah, I'm dying. Bro, they open up the door, immaculate studio inside. I'm like, yeah, what's this? They're like, yo, this is your team now. That's your manager, that's your photographer, that's your graphic designer. I was like,
just like that.
Okay, this is how it works. All right. And bro, we were putting out mixtapes and doing. I was making about $3,000 a month selling mixtapes. Whoops.
That's big. That's big.
You know, so I'm selling my mixtapes, and I remember I had this one story I tell people all the time, just because I had to learn about money. Yeah. So I'm making all this money. So I decided I'm gonna show off. I go to Manhattan. I go to the Burberry store and buy a $1,500 jacket.
Holy smokes.
The next night I go to this thing where it's like a meet and greet with labels and stuff. Yeah. And I take the jacket off and I put it on my chair right here. Yeah. So someone's like, hey, Danny, you're from Canada? So I go like this to shake their hand. And when I look back, the jacket's gone.
Oh, what?
Damn. So I just lost a $1,500. From there, I was like, you know what? I'm never, forget it. Never doing that again.
Big investment, you know?
Yeah. Now I know I'll never take my jacket up. See, I even got my jacket on right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Where's my jacket
bro, I'm never taking it up.
What are some of your inspirations in music? What kind of musical background did you have growing up? You know what I mean?
So for me growing up, like hip hop it wasn't even just something we listened to, it was the lifestyle. Like, I was one of those kids, like you could just look at me like, oh, that guy lives hip hop. You know, the things we eat, the way we spoke, the things we did, you know, very Jamaican influenced household, that kind of thing. So the stuff we say just sounded cool and that kind of stuff. But my favorite artist has always been 50 Cent. And the reason for that, shout out 50. The reason for that is not just his rapping style. The man got shot 9 times, his voice changed, and he just adapted. But on top of that, he took street hustling and said, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to make mixtapes, do all these things, and turn it into a business. Now here's a guy who's putting out mixtapes without his picture on it, and the bootleggers are trying to sell him his mixtape. Right? So for me, I was like, yo, that's brilliant business where, you know, like, your name is buzzing on the streets and no one knows who you are.
Here's a hot topic, yo. Just whatever, man. Like, French Montana and 50 Cent have a little beef or something. What do you think about that? You think it's like a publicity stunt from 50? Because he's always, like, jumping on everything.
I don't think it's a publicity stunt, but I think 50 is very smart with how he does things. And he likes to just be on the cutting edge of noticing things.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like 50's not promoting an album or a TV show right now. He's just like, hey, I'm online. I just bought a new Bugatti 2020. Yo, what's that?
Yeah.
That's a 2010.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, yo, we're supposed to be peers, bro. You can't afford $3 million. What are you doing? So that's just him being funny. Right? And I find that a lot of people nowadays, they're so emotional that they take that personal instead of it being like let's have a funny back and forth.
Yeah.
Sport.
Right? Like,
Rap is a
the
sport.
other day, OJEZ was doing the show. You guys know you were all there.
Yeah.
He's doing a song, and the song says, I got a bitch in the elevator.
Yeah.
So I look at the DJ, I'm like, yo, spin that up. And he looks at me, he's like, let's spin that. I ran on stage, I'm like, yo, OJEZ, not trying to steal your shine. I pulled a Kanye West. Beyonce had the video of the year. I'm like, bro, you gotta do that song again. Like, that song's fire. I don't think they're hearing you.
Yeah, that's online too.
Jump around
man.
with him and then come back off.
It was a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah, if you guys want to check that out, that's on the gas strip right there, man. Live show, man. OJEZ, you guys can see that live for yourself, man. So.
And you met 52, right?
Yeah.
What was that like? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We gotta move
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Man, it was amazing. I got to meet Bill Duke. I got to meet what's the other
50, that's
the
crazy.
African guy. He played. There was Levar and another dude, and then my own boy. He played Junebug in the movie. So I got to know a lot of people from that movie. It was filmed here in Toronto. A lot of
It was fast.
over at
if anybody don't know.
yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, a lot of it was filmed here.
Oh,
The
dope.
cemetery scene was filmed over on Kingston Road. And then the other part where they're in the pool hall, that was Phoenix Concert Theater.
Shout out to everybody in that movie, man. I know this guy named Gary Oliveira. He's a tattoo artist. He actually tattooed like 50 Cent's back in that movie too, man.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
huge, yo. So
Yeah.
shout out to
That
everybody.
movie provided a lot of work for
Get rich or die trying.
like just people in the city.
the
'Cause
city, huh?
you can't even be like, oh, for black people, like the Hispanics were hired, and like,
For sure.
like everybody was in the movie. You like, damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Walter Alza. He actually runs an acting school. He was one of like 50's nemesis in the movie.
Yeah.
He's actually a really cool guy, and he's here in Toronto.
That's crazy.
That's how you know
Shouts
when
out
you're a
to
good
Steve.
actor. When you're like a
coming
real
up.
good dude in person, but like you see them on camera and you hate them, but like
Yeah.
in real life he's just nice. Like that's when you know you're sick with it. You know?
Yo, on a quick tangent
Yeah.
for a second, right? So like, cause A.W.O.L is right here.
Yeah.
He's a man of crazy and unimaginable talent, which I've gotten to see, and everybody's gonna get to see soon. So like, how did you get to meet A.W.O.L? Like, you know?
So A.W.O.L and I have linked up at a couple of different events.
Yeah.
And he's always like, yo, DT, we gotta work on something, da da da. And for me, I always tell people, listen, if it feels like I'm blowing you off, don't take it personal. Like, I got
Yeah.
10 million things going on.
That's true.
So,
That is true.
you know, then when we link up,
Yeah.
it's gonna be time to link
Yeah,
up.
that's facts.
So finally, we're at an event it's put on by We Stay Woke.
Yeah.
So he had a segment, he was playing some beats and whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, we got a link, let's do something. All right, cool. You know, I'm not taking it too serious. And
Yeah.
then finally we linked up and I was like, yo, let's have a conversation. Let's, see what your goals are. This is what I'm trying to do. How can we work together?
Yeah.
And then, he played me some of his beats and I'm like, yo, okay, this can go on.
Yeah.
And then as we've been working, he's like, yo, bro, those beats are okay, but take a look at this one.
Yeah.
So like right now, I got a new song called Money Dance.
Yeah.
Like I think he put the beat up
Money, man.
on Instagram on Friday.
Yeah.
It's now Sunday. Like I already have the song done. Like
Yeah.
hook,
That's
verse, everything.
awesome. That's
We
awesome.
recorded it, all of that.
Damn. So
You know?
this man A.W.O.L. Tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I've been producing for, like full time 9 months, but I kind of messed around with FL Studio for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of played around with it. I'm a singer songwriter. I was an
Yeah.
artist back in the day. You know what I mean? I come from a musical family.
Oh, okay. Who in the family?
Oh, everybody.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
My
bad.
father, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Passed away in
R.I.P.
26, 4 years back. But
Yeah.
him, my mom. You know what I mean? She was a stage drama actress. My brothers all
Oh,
sing. My sisters all sing. So it's like we all have that within us. My niece, she just did a video that crossed like 1 million views on YouTube. Right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah,
that's
dude.
amazing.
So,
That's amazing.
so
Shouts
that's
out.
yeah. Shout out
Go
to
back.
Sarah. You know what I mean?
Shouts
She
out
does it.
Sarah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So like in 8 months, you producing what? what I'm hearing right now, you
Yeah.
learned all that in 8 months?
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
between me and you, right?
Yeah. Of course, I'm putting the mic down.
Is it a drug or is it a voodoo doctor? Because, like, I need to know. Because if it's something about going to church, I'll go to church and hopefully in 8 months I'll be able to produce like that. Because that's crazy, bro. Like, so, like, what else, what inspired you to, like, switch from, like, singing and rapping to, like, just producing?
You know what? I've been in the game for a long time, and I think as a like stepping back from the artistry side of things, I understand what an artist lives like. I understand what it's like to be in their shoes. So I thought this is an opportunity for me. Like I didn't look at it as like, oh, I'm gonna go in and make a ton of money. I looked at it like I'm gonna go in and give artists an opportunity to save some of their money, so that they can put it into other things. You feel me?
That's major.
And
That's
so
major.
yeah, so I kind of just went that way about it, and then like the love. I mean, it's the love. It's not the voodoo. It's not the drug. In itself is a drug, right? Like I get up in the morning. Like I got up this morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning to make beats on Instagram Live because I knew I was gonna be in studio with him at 2 o'clock. So I wanted to get 3 beats done by 2. You don't need to be out the door. So
Yo, for all the producers out there, man, like what kind of equipment and what kind of like DAWs do you use and everything like that?
Setup.
So my setup is pretty simple. Like I'm an FL Studio guy, right? For my production stuff.
He's my ops.
Yeah. And then I got Cubase. I use Cubase for my recording and mixing stuff
Dope,
like that.
man.
Yeah.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
And how'd you find the? Because I'm sure you dabble within like different like softwares. Which one do you find? Do you find Cubase as the ultimate best? Like
Yeah.
when it comes to mixing?
You know what I find? I think it's all the same. No matter what you use, just what you're comfortable with. Feel me?
Wow, that's
Dope.
major.
Do you guys have like a music video or anything project-wise, YouTube coming up for 2020 or anything like that?
Me, DT?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so now let's talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, so to start that off, I created a company called BTPENT, which stands for About That Paper, which you guys just listened to the song, which inspired the company. So About That Paper, everybody's always talking
I love
about
that name.
how much money I make and whatever. I'm talking about what we're willing to do to make that paper and what we're gonna do to invest it. So that's where the concept came from. So when I linked up with A.W.O.L, shout out to Mr. 48. He's in the studio with us.
It's the 40.
This is my brother from
Shout out
St.
to
Martin.
Mr.
We've been
40.
rocking for 13 years together.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna put the
major.
Instagram right there so
Yeah, man.
everybody
That's
follow.
major, yeah.
At Mr.
Alright.
48.
Alright,
So
right
we
there.
have tracks and stuff from back in the day. And I was like, okay, yo, you're up here now. Let's link and let's work.
Yeah.
Right? Our other brother, Steel DC, he's back in St. Martin right now. He'll be back up in February.
Alright,
So
let's
he
go.
and I, he's been touring around the world with me and that kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, I got these 2 great artists now. So then I was like, what do I need? All right, I have a personal producer, but I need someone that can build and grow with the artists that I have.
Yeah.
So when A.W.O.L and I started talking, I'm like, okay, yo, this is gonna be you. You're the boss of this section now. You're in charge. You know, they're gonna sit and go through the beats with you, give them your opinion, give them your thoughts. So then we also have A.W.O.L. She's in San Francisco right
Shouts out
now. She'll be back soon. So with all of that, I was like, okay, now that we have this, let's start to work.
Yeah.
So I got an EP coming out that's solely produced by A.W.O.L.
Do you have a name for that yet?
Man,
It's in the air? It's in the air?
yeah, right now it's in the air. But the compilation EP with all of the artists produced solely by A.W.O.L is gonna be called Big Business.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the songs on it. Big Business.
How many artists, how many tracks on there?
So it's 4 artists.
4 artists?
Right, so it's myself, Mr. 48, Steel DC, A.W.O.L.
And producer-wise?
All productions done by A.W.O.L.
4 artists, 1 producer.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn, you're like Kanye, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Then
really good
working
music
on
and some shit.
A.W.O.L.'s individual EP project. Then we have Mr. 48, who's going to be doing his project. And then, like I said, the compilation CD coming out, and then we have one with Steel DC. So you'll see us collaborating together on each different project, but then there's gonna be certain ones where it's like solo stuff, so you can hear the vibe and that kind of thing.
What about what about music video wise? You guys gonna plan on doing a
Bro,
music
we
video
shoot
for
a
that?
music video for everything.
Yeah, eh?
So Mr. 48 is also a video guy. We got Steel DC who's a video guy. Here's a piece of advice for everybody who's like starting out. When you start out, you're gonna have to play as many roles as possible. But find people who are comfortable with playing other roles as well, so that once you guys get big enough and get better, you can find a Diego who's going to be in charge of You know, your video and production.
man.
Then now that takes something off your plate so you can focus on other things, and then, you know, you find someone else who's a producer, right? So A.W.O.L comes in, he does production, he does writing, he does singing, and, you know, helping people learn the notes and that kind of thing, and direction in that way.
Yeah.
So now that frees me up where I can say, okay, we're booking media time, we're booking shows, we're booking tours, that kind of thing. So because there's so many of us working now, it's like a spider where we can touch a bunch of things at one time instead of being like, yeah, I do it on my own.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
For
huge.
sure. Well, I mean, I joke about it with OJEZ all the time, and I say, yo, listen, if you're one person, you get one pie. If there's 20 of us, we get 20 pies, and we're only gonna eat 2 in the beginning because who wants to sit there and eat a whole apple pie? Nah.
Yeah.
I just want one piece with my little bit of ice cream. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm not eating the whole pie today.
You know?
Tomorrow I'll come back, I'll sneak another slice.
Yeah.
Maybe at midnight I might sneak a slice, but you don't eat the whole pie.
You guys have got 2020 in the lock already, pretty much. You guys might as well just move on to 2021. At this point, right?
Yeah,
No?
that's huge,
Well,
bro.
everybody's been saying like, yeah, 2020 is clear vision. I'm like, you know, it's funny you say that. What did you do in 2019 to compare to 2020?
Yo, it's
That's-
so
I was
goofy.
just
gonna
no,
say, like,
read my lips. This is goofy. Any of you guys who are so into that 2020, even if it was the last day of 2019, I'm looking forward to it. You're goofy.
Nah,
Like,
man.
I'm sorry.
You had to
like,
work
I'm
hard, like
sorry,
he was
man.
saying, 2019.
Exactly.
Well, just the other day, right? Remember when we were talking, and I was saying like 2020. You know, it seems like everybody wants to make 2020 their year, and you know
But
what he
everybody
said?
does it
You know
every
what?
year.
But he goes, DT goes. So I said, you know, if we're gonna be great, we gotta be really great, you know. And he goes, DT says, yeah, but they weren't preparing in 2019, right?
Real fast.
If you think about it, if you're trying to get into the NBA, you don't just want to pick up a ball and say, yeah, I'm gonna get into the NBA next year.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Scouts gotta be looking at you. People gotta be talking about you. Your work ethic has to be impeccable.
Yeah.
That's the same thing as an artist. If you think about it, if you're not coming out to the Gas Strip podcast, if you're not going to other podcasts and radio shows and letting people know, hey, I'm out here and whatever, right? One of the things I noticed in Toronto is people will come to something like this and be like, yeah, you know, this is great, get my music played, and then forget you.
Yeah.
Fact.
Whereas for me, I'm like, nah, we gotta build relationships because I'm going to see you guys at another show.
So all these men, you gotta understand something, man. Everybody out there's watching, you know what I'm saying? And you're teaching people a lot of things. And all these kids coming up, man, they gotta learn, you know? They could all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So you're pretty much teaching them, and that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came on this channel to teach everybody facts, you know, so they can, you know, like do things right instead of freaking making mistakes like we all have. Just like your producer, you know? He like made mistakes, man, and now he's helping people not make those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing, man. So that's a big shout out, man.
I tell people all the time, success is just dressed up losses.
Yeah, that's real shit.
Right? You think about it, you talk to any person who's successful, they were like, yo, I failed 2,000 times. I just kept going.
And you guys
And
only
finally
think at
something
one
worked.
time I was successful,
That's true.
really. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because just before we started, I was telling A.W.O.L, a lot of people want to take their investment out before it matures.
Right.
So it's like, yo, OJEZ, I did this with you, and I need $2,000. I'm like, where did you get that figure from? Like, we're building something you have to put in.
It's like
Right.
dragons, man.
Yeah, a lot of people's businesses fail because they'll say, okay, I'll put $500 in, I'm gonna get a logo, business stuff, incorporate, do all these things.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the business makes any money, they go on a shopping spree.
Yeah.
But that's not your money.
I gotta invest it back to
That's
the
the
business.
business's
Yeah.
money. When your business is profitable and you're in the black and things are nice, then you can say, now I'm going to start paying myself.
For sure.
But if you want to take out right away, right? Like if Gas Strip says, yo, DT wants you to be part of the show, whatever. All right, cool. I'm gonna come, yo, what y'all need? Okay, let me do that, let me do this. But it's like, yo, I've been here 2 times now and nothing came of it. It's like, yo, bro, do people know that you're part of it? Yeah. Are you on camera? Yeah. Are people saying your name? Yeah. Then what's the problem? Right? A lot of people, they just want all the visual benefits without the physical work.
Everybody wants to be
And that's
in the-
dangerous.
And the cost is so
Facts, man.
underrated. How the cost of being a boss is like very downplayed. It's like you have, for example, I'm sure you've been through this because you've had events. You could have events and pay everybody and not pay yourself, right?
Oh, yeah, I've
and
done that
be
many times.
perfectly okay with it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody's going home getting an Uber, and you're just like, fuck, man, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get home tonight. Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know the cost. These people are going home thinking, yeah, you know what, I got paid or whatever, and you're over here still trying to eat noodles, but you just fed them. That's something major. Like, you know, that's something that eventually you just fed 7 mouths, and even though you didn't feed yourself, that was like 7 other people you fed.
Exactly.
Think about
It's
it.
dedication,
Now,
bro.
exactly. You keep
And you
going
believe in
and you
yourself,
building,
you know
like, you
what
know what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying? Like, but
That's love.
Bro.
That's passion.
But you see, my boss one time, right? He didn't pay me. This guy has a mansion in New Market and stuff. Like, he didn't pay me, bro. And the first time I had to pay everybody and not eat, it made me really look at him like a loser, bro. And I told him that. Like, it really made me look at him, because you can't drive around looking in your nice car, driving around Benzes and Mercedes and wagons, and you don't pay your staff.
Yeah,
That's loser stuff, bro.
You know what? To piggyback on that, I remember, I think I seen a meme or whichever, and this employee was looking at his boss's car like, man, yo, that's an amazing, like a Bugatti or whatever, whatever. And the boss was like, yeah, if you work real hard and you apply yourself, I'll get a better one next year.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Most of the people who are working jobs are working to build someone else's dream.
Facts.
Now, when someone like OJEZ or BLANCO or RICO comes and says, yo, let's build something together,
Yeah.
everyone's like, I need my Bugatti now. And it's like, yo, wait, none of us is driving Bugattis yet. Let's all get some Honda Civics,
Yeah.
drive around for a little while,
Yeah.
build up. Now, this is Toronto's mainstream media platform, and people are willing to pay to get on the show so that they can sit with 50 Cent and Noriega and all these guys who are going to be on the show. Now, that's when, shout out to Noriega.
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
People want everything right away, and you have to get rid of that. That's a social media mentality.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't be, all right, I'm going to put it up on Instagram and get 2,000 likes. You're going to go crazy sitting there like,
Yeah. That's true.
right? You got to look at it like, okay, I'm doing this, I have to think long term. We've all watched the movies, you know, what's it, The Italian Job, all these movies where they leave with like $500 million.
Yeah.
But we're trying to be the stick 'em up guy, like, yeah, I got $87 from the bank teller. What's that? Yo, put in the years and be the guy that walks off with $800 million and, you know, somehow you reverse the mortgage and you own someone else's, you know, estate.
Exactly.
But think about it that way, because in your careers, if you're not trying to have longevity, that means you want to be the hot thing for the moment. Right? Now think about this. There was a time when Coffee Time was the biggest donut chain in Canada.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
When's the last time you seen a Coffee Time?
So they're all getting wiped out.
Right? Then Tim Hortons became the biggest coffee chain in Canada. Tim Hortons seems like it's phasing out now. Now people want to go to Balzac's and Starbucks and all these pretentious places where they're like, yeah, it's $8 for a brownie. I'm sorry, what? So I can go to No Frills and get a box for 99 cents and make it myself.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so when you look at it, it's the same thing as an artist. Like, you can't play the game by yourself. You have to have a team. And then as you're doing things, you got to understand there's sacrifices.
That's true.
Right? And a lot of times, you know, when you're talking about your boss, I always tell people, don't pocket watch. Because you might be looking at his house, not realizing he goes home to an empty home. He's messed up all
But
these
that was
kind of
my whole
things.
point, you know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't mean anything. The nice house and the big cars, it's just all up front. And I get in the industry that we are, music for instance, sometimes it adds to the persona or whatever, but
sure.
it's
Just
just
like,
a facade.
yo, just like, you know, putting a big show together, man. And sometimes you don't even, like, you're putting out all this money to make the show happen. And sometimes all the people don't even show up. But regardless, even if you break even, man, you go home with that feeling that you just did a huge show and you got mad followers and shit. You know what I mean? Just the feeling, man, is better than anything, guy. No money can even, like, you know?
It's the accomplishment.
Yeah,
The show,
man.
where you live, all of that, it comes down to the same thing. What's the memory that you're making? Because at the end, you can lose your house, but then you can drive home like, man, I remember I used to live over in this area and I had the sweetest girl, and, you know, I was driving a 1998 Volkswagen Jetta. You know, like, you have those memories. And as an artist, most of the time I tell people when I'm developing them, like, yo, the biggest thing you have to remember is your memories. Because when you go on the radio station, people are like, yo, what was it like to meet 50 Cent? Oh man, it was amazing, this and this. All right, what else you got going on? And if you got nothing else to talk about, you're not interesting. Right? Whereas for me, bro, I got stuff. I can tell you about when I got to play ball with Michael Jordan. I can tell you when I got to play ball with Vince Carter.
Jeez.
16 years old, actually, sorry, at the age of 15, in 1995 is when the Raptors started. My mom knew somebody, and she got me a job working at community relations.
Yeah.
So I'm 15 years old, working for the Toronto Raptors.
Wow.
I'm going to games, I'm hanging out with Tracy Murray and A.C. Earl and Oliver Miller. And I remember one time I'm at a game, and I hear boom.
Shout out the Raptors,
I'm like,
bro.
what the hell is that? I go around the corner. Halftime at the Raptors game, Oliver Miller is running on a treadmill. Because the coach is like, yo, you're too fat. You got to
Yeah,
lose
he was a
some
big
weight.
boy.
Yeah, he was 400 something pounds.
Yo, DT, you got stories for days, dog. Honestly, you guys gotta go check out his Instagram, his YouTube, man. Check out everybody who he's working with, the whole squad, the whole team. We're gonna go on a quick break right now, man, and we're gonna get back at you. So stay tuned, all right? Hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell, all right? Yo, stay tuned. Yeah, man, we're just gonna like end it like this, bro. We're gonna give you all the social medias, man, and we're gonna do a little shout out, you know? So shout out all your people, man.
Alright, well, first off, I gotta say a big thank you and shout out to OJEZ. We actually have a track coming soon. It's called They Don't Want Us to Win, but we stay winning.
Winning.
I gotta shout out my family, BTP, ENT. That's A.W.O.L, that's Mr. 48, Ana Zolo, Steel DC. Shout out to my producer, The Six. All the tracks that you heard playing the bind were done by him. As well, shout out Drippy, Flex Jackson, most respected. They're all out in the States. Shout out my tour manager, Paul Tutt. I love and appreciate you, man. That's my big bro. Shout out Dave Reed, that's my other big homie. All my fans in Poland, I rock with y'all. Shema, you know, Jindove. As well, a lot of the artists and people in Toronto have been just reaching out, like, bro, as soon as like 2019 turns to 20, like, all right, yo, bro, we gotta work. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
I've been working.
Yeah, like you guys are just ready. Like I've been doing this. And I'd say one last word of advice is, if you're going to do it well, right? If you're gonna jump into the pool, jump full force. If there's no water in there, you should have already looked into that. So a lot of times I get artists coming like, yo, you know, there's this thing, it's $400 to open up for Meek Mills. I don't know if I should do it. I don't want to lose the money. Then don't do it. Or you're saying I shouldn't open for Meek Mills? No, I'm saying don't be an artist. Because you're going to lose money. So if every time you're like, oh, I lost money, da-da-da, then this isn't for you. But when you start looking at it like, okay, well, that was an investment. You know, I have people like, yo, DT, I want to go on tour with you, whatever. I'm like, all right, it costs this much. Oh, I can do this on my own. All right, do it then.
It's a gamble, right?
But, well, with the touring, it's not really a gamble because you already have guaranteed shows, you have guaranteed interviews. You're literally just paying for where you're staying and transportation.
Yeah, so sometimes it's a gamble, sometimes it's not. Like opening up for French guy, you might not make you anything, but you got mad people watching you, mad followers you could gain. You know, you could potentially get another show, right? So there's so many different ways to look at things, man. You know what I'm saying, yo? So
when you look at those, it's also the relationships that come from those. Right? Like, I just opened up for Pastor Troy in Albany, Georgia. Shout out Drippy, he was on that with me. Still DC. Now, my new music video, Money on the Line, shout out. That was myself featuring Drippy, produced by The Six. Pastor Troy is in the video.
There you go, man.
So when we were there, you know, he came, I had my section here, he had his section right beside me. So they're like, oh, this is DT's opening up for you. He comes over, he's like, yo, you're as tall as me, da-da-da. You know, show his love. And then I had Steel DC filming. And he's like, yo, you guys are filming? I was like, yeah, we're shooting a music video. He's like, oh, yo, shout out DT, whatever. So in the music video, he shouted me out.
That's huge.
And he gives me a hug, and I'm like, yo, this is amazing. Because I jumped off stage, and I was doing it, my last song was called Blessed. You know, I'm walking into my blessing, no worrying or stressing, because I'm blessed. I did that in the show. And I was like, yo, we got Pastor Troy in here. I'm walking into my blessing. So when I jumped off stage, he's like, bruh, I like the shout out. And he gave me a bear hug, and I was like, yo, this is amazing.
That's crazy.
You know, so always build the relationship. I'm
man.
in talks right now to do something with him and something with Pastor Troy, you know, sipping on some sister. You know, so, Project Pat. So when you travel, I always tell people, bro, stop worrying about getting paid up front. Build a relationship.
Man.
Because the guy that you're trying to get $200 from might have $20,000 for you 3 months from now if you build that relationship. Right? So everybody's like fighting over the scraps. Meanwhile, I'm like, bro, I got like a plate of spaghetti and meatballs right here. Why are you fighting for the garlic bread that fell on the floor? Right? And that's how I feel like Toronto artists are doing. Like, oh, let's go for this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
So opening up for like a big artist, you know, opening up for a big artist, you could like, you know, get you other artists. Other artists might be there, man, behind the stage and stuff. You can meet so many people, man. You never know, you know. So don't turn down like opportunities in life. You know what I'm saying? You
but
know?
it's as well, learn from each one.
And learn.
'Cause I've
yeah.
had stuff where like I'm opening for an artist and I'm in the room with the artist. Then I've done other shows where I'm like, okay, there's a big artist, but they're not coming till 1 a.m. We're already off stage.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing really for me here. So I'll go and build with the audience and stuff.
Exactly.
But then you have to really wonder, okay, why is it that I'm not in the room with them? But then you start to look at it. If I can't bring 20 people out to a show, then what am I talking about? I need to get paid. I need to do this. Yeah, my studio time, my this. Yeah, that was
Right.
your investment.
Exactly.
Right? You don't go to Tim Hortons and say, well, I need this, 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 and this. And they're like, yeah, well, we paid for your uniform. We paid for your training. We paid for everything. What more do you need?
Even just your face on a flyer with like a big artist is huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like even little things like that, like you're paying for something, but you're getting so much out of it, you know? So
Yeah.
sometimes you can't look at it like, yo, it's a bad investment, you know what I mean? And everything happens for a reason in the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if you do the investment or you don't, man, it's for a reason. You learn, you know what I'm saying? So take it or leave it sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
I
As
gotta
well,
say, yeah, cause I was gonna ask A.W.O.L one thing before we like finish up.
Go ahead, man.
So, if you were gonna like give your younger you an advice when you were first starting out, right?
Younger me?
Yeah, like you
So
know,
the guy
like,
from 1 year ago.
like you know, like it could be a year ago, it could be a year ago when you found enlightenment, like you know, whatever that time. What would be that advice you give yourself, like you know?
It's gonna sound so cliche, but just don't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't
That's the
sound
one
cliche
thing, bro.
at all,
Listen, like
trust me.
you could, you know, you could take a fork and just chip away the wall, and you do that long enough. Either the fork's gonna go or the wall is. You feel me?
That's deep. That's
So you know what I
very
mean?
deep.
So it's like you just be consistent.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
that's
no matter
real,
what.
man. That's
You know what
real,
I mean?
man.
So-
So,
That's
don't
real.
give up, man, and keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? Your
Take
time will
it.
come. Everybody gets
For sure.
gets their moment of fame, and when it's your time, get ready for it, man. Because it's supposedly in the world, everybody gets their 7 or 15 minutes of
Yeah,
fame
for
somewhere
sure.
or another, man. So
Everybody's
get
a
ready,
star,
alright?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is crazy still, yo. Honestly, I appreciate you guys for coming out.
For
man.
sure,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So yo, where can everybody reach you, man? Like, tell us all,
So you
man.
can find me on Instagram at DT the Artist. Facebook, just look up DT space the space artist. If you want to email me, it's dttheartist@gmail.com. I try to keep well branded. Everything is DT the Artist. That's all me.
There you go.
Alright,
What about?
And for me, I hope you got your notepads out because it's gonna be a long one. No, I'm just kidding. So it's A.W.O.L Productions on Instagram. That's A.W.O.L Productions, and then BeatStars, or it's AWOLProductions.beatstars.com.
Shout out to
We're
BeatStars,
gonna
yo.
have him down here anyway, so.
And shout out
That's
Mr.
what's
48.
up.
He's in the
I
building as
appreciate
well.
that.
If you want to follow him
48.
at
Right.
MR4DH. That's Mr. 48 is right there.
Check
alright?
that out, man. And shout out to BeatStars, like I was saying, yo, all the producers, man, putting all their social media platforms and all their beats out there, all their music, man. You know, all that's work, man, and everybody's gonna see it one day, man, one way or another, man. So
That's
just
facts.
keep doing that, man. And you know what I'm saying? One day it's gonna pay out, man. And even if it's not with money, it's gonna pay out inside, you know? For
You
you.
know, I had this one line where I said, "Do it for the love and you'll discover dope. Do it for the money and you'll be undersold." You feel me?
Hard, man.
So,
Sure.
and that's why, like, you know, I'm speaking on behalf of DT and everybody here. Like, this room, everything you guys are doing, like, this is huge. You guys did something amazing, and it's all because everybody in here loves it just as much as the next person.
Thank
Real
you.
shit. So proud of you guys, man. That's
Thank
dope.
you. Thank
Well,
you
you're
so
always
much.
welcome.
Now, just before he cuts us off, because you know they're about to go and stuff.
Right.
I got, for my last couple shout outs, shout out Mass Toronto. They gave me the shirt. I have the face of Toronto. G Original Clothing. My energy drink sponsor, Haka Energy Drink. I love y'all. And shout out to Royalty RP. The guys who actually, sampling the product, Royalty RP.
And we
Roll
just
up
smoked
with
it.
DC,
We
the
just
brand
smoked the whole
ambassador.
thing. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
And it
Proper.
smokes proper too. Smoke for the whole thing. So
Yeah.
y'all check
That's
it
what's
out,
up.
man. That's
So hey, well, hit up your shout outs. And then, I know they
And you
about
know
to
what? I don't
cut
have
us off.
a whole lot, bro. Just shout out to you guys for having us here. Shout out to DT. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. 40H. I am on a solo. You know what I mean? Steel DC. Everybody, and shout out to everybody who's just doing something they love to do. And
Sure, man.
you know what I mean? And that's just the way they're gonna move forward. So shout out, man.
It's the gas trip.
It's the gas trip, baby, man.
Yeah,
Alright,
go
man.
ahead, go ahead.
See you guys next time, yo. Respect, yo. Thanks
Peace,
for coming on, man.
Gas
Yeah.
trip.